everyone, this is Britta.
And hi, I'm Benny.
From the German death metal band Critical Mass, and you are listening to The Bloodshed with DJ Vampire on Metal Messiah Radio International.
Britta. Benny, thank you very much for taking time out for this interview, and it's a great pleasure and honor to have you back here for the Metal Bloodshed with the Vampire on Metal Messiah Radio.
Yeah, thanks for having us. It's a pleasure, man.
Yeah, thank you. I think it's already our fourth or fifth time talking, right?
Wow, it's been so many times that I lost the count. So nice to have you, Britta. I'm very happy to have you back, and you're always so beautiful, so kind.
Thank you.
Founded in February 2012, Critical Mass, death metal from Hanover, Germany. The band had undergone many changes in the band's names, lineup, and writing style. In 2016, the current lineup had established itself and quickly found its own unique sound and style. Critical Mass current lineup is Britta, you on vocals, Elmo guitar, Marco on guitar, Lommer on bass, and you, Benny, on drums.
That's right.
First of all, let me congratulate you guys, girls, for the band's new album, Man Made Machine Made Man, last June. I want to start by asking this. After 4 years with a steady lineup and after so many shows, festivals, how are you feeling being part of this band? Each one of you on its own. Let me start with you, Britta, as the front woman. Then with Benny, you as a drummer. How is Critical Mass nowadays doing?
We're doing really fine. I mean, this past summer has been a total blast. We played so many big festivals that we, to be honest, really didn't dream of playing so early in the band history. And we played Wacken, we played the Metal Days Festival in Slovenia, just to name two of them. And the audience just welcomed us very, very warmly. Our Wacken set was insane. There were so many people. Yeah, that's something that really sticks with me, and it pays you off for all the hard work that you're putting into the band. And especially with the release in June with our album Man Made Machine Made Man, I feel like we really set a milestone here for the band.
Yeah, for me, I've been in the band since the band started in 2012. The change was obvious when we talked about, we want to do a little more, we want to play more shows, and we want to set a new level to everything we do. Yeah, we achieved that goal in the end. I think this year, 2019, was very, very good starting point for whatever's going to come.
You as original member behind the drum kit, how did you see this band, Critical Mass, for the last 3 years after the recruiting of Britta on the vocals?
Yeah, it has changed a lot. That was the exact point when we decided to change our way of working in the band, and worked out pretty well. It started pretty early, played more shows in the first place and also bigger shows. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And it's still getting more and cooler. Let's say that.
Yes, knowing Britta, I'm sure that she has brought a new vibe to the band, and she has brought the band also to a much higher level.
Well, I'm not sure I can take credit for that, because the real story is that the band had decided before they asked me, or they were looking for a new member on vocals, to take that step. And the band had decided to become a more professional band and to play more shows and to have a more, maybe a more dedicated band life in itself. So the getting me on board was a symptom of that decision, and it was not me who made all that happen. Of course, I joined, and this band has already been a running train, so it was easy to pick up speed with that kind of determination. So I can't take credit for the professionalism of this band, especially not alone.
Don't take me wrong, I'm not taking any credit out of Simon, who used to be the vocalist, but yes, it's true that you board a train that is already running, but you need the talent in order to keep running with it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you're right. The timing was just good for Critical Mass, and the first record was already ready when I joined, so all I had to do was go into the studio and lay down the vocal tracks. So it was such a thankful beginning for me in that band, because there was really something there to work with.
Go over to what you just had said, that the band has done a couple of great festivals, among them Metal Days in Slovenia. on Friday, July 26 on the Lemmy Kilminster stage. What a beautiful venue, including the Socha Riverside was there in 2017. Wow, I really enjoyed it there. And you also have played, I think this is the first time with Critical Mass, Britta. Yeah. I remember you with Cripper playing Wacken, but I don't remember Critical Mass. But this year you played Wacken Open Air in celebration of its 30 years anniversary this last August 4th on the Wasteland stage. It's a backstage, but outside to where the big stages are. But it's very cool stage there. I was very sad I couldn't make it to these festivals this year. Hopefully I'll be there next year again. Tell us, how was the band experience at these festivals and in front of a huge crowd that gather every year to celebrate at these summer metal festivals? I've seen the videos.
I think I can speak for myself and also for the rest of the band. I think it was for Britta, maybe it was for many of us, it was the first experience to play in front of such a huge crowd as in Wacken. That was really crazy. I mean, the stage is kind of small. It's not that small, but also not that big. And the space in front of that stage is, let's say, medium-sized. It was totally packed with people, like even behind the FOH. The only thing you could see was moving heads. That was really, really crazy. It's like, it was an honor to experience so many people partying with you.
Yeah, so your own home crowd, metalheads, Benny.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm saying this because it's in Germany. A lot of German metalheads among two people that coming from all over the world.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty mixed audience, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Did you guys had a chance to enjoy going swimming and have a good time by the river? I'm talking about Metal Days.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah. I mean, we weren't there for the whole festival. The whole festival is like 5 or 6 days or something. So we were only there for 3 days. But yeah, the weather was super nice and we hung out by the beach and we had a couple cocktails and went swimming in the ice cold Socha River. Yeah.
Each time I have to talk about this festival, I remember the great times I had there, especially the after parties at night in the morning. I mean,
yeah. Oh man, it was so hot again this year. But I mean, when the day before our show, at the same time that we would enter the stage the next day, they had 66 degrees Celsius on stage. 66 Celsius. So the organizer came up to us and said, well, we had 66 degrees Celsius yesterday on stage. So when you go up there, like, be careful and move slow. But by the time we entered the stage, there was just like the whole sky was blue. And then there was a tiny, tiny cloud that had just like managed to go in front of the sun when we started playing. So I think when I looked at the thermometer on stage, it only said something like 55 degrees or something. So that was really manageable, but it was still very hot.
But at least you got a good weather. In 2017, when I was there, it rained the whole festival. It rained.
Yeah, it's either one or the other.
Yeah, I had a lot of storm too. Too bad. I remember I had this great opportunity to meet with you, Britta, and Marco last year in April sometimes, where we talk about you experience joining the band, but we also talk about the band's debut album, Human Praey, released in March of 2018, with killer tunes. I still remember Feasting into Oblivion, Bringer of All Ends, and the many more great tunes. How has this album been accepted in general by fans and critics? How was it for the band, and especially for you, Britta, as the band new front woman at that time?
The press liked the album. We had just like 2 bad reviews. All the others were really, really good. And we are still very happy with the outcome of this album. For me, it was kind of funny because I had just released, the last album was Cripper and then was Critical Mass. And some people got confused. They thought that since Cripper wasn't anymore, like we laid this baby down, they thought that Critical Mass was like a follow-up band to Cripper, and they were really irritated because the style had so-called changed so much. But of course I had both bands at the same time, and there's absolutely no point of having 2 bands that sound the same, if you know what I mean. So they were kind of getting used to maybe a slightly different vocal style, but yeah. I really can't complain. It was a good experience with that first album, and it was even better with the second album.
Yeah, and you were touring too with both bands at the same time, right?
Well, not touring. Yeah, I played shows with both bands, yeah, but not touring at the same time.
Just 1.5 years after their great debut, Critical Mass is back with their second full-length called Man Made Machine, Made Man, released via METALVILE on June 21st, 2019. Stronger than ever, what they were missing on Human Praey, they definitely found it at and developed it on this great new album. Could you please present us the album track list?
So that's Revolution 5. Then we got Echo. I can actually say something about that one. Echo is my personal favorite on the record because it's the most brutal one, I would say. Then we go on with ANDR, Bias, Cut the Cord, Demise, WOTF, Generation Fork, No Gods, Man-Made Machine Made Man, the title track, and Prequel.
Thank you very much for describing us the album tracking list. The album was recorded at Sound Lodge Studio with Jörg Ucken, recorded by LCHQ Studio as well, vocals Britta. How has everything with the making of this album, Man-Made Machine Made Man, gone? And what have the band and the producer done differently this time compared to what you guys have done with Human Praey?
We wrote this album very fast. That's probably the biggest difference compared to Human Praey. And it was the first time that we wrote with that lineup with me. We sat down with our booking agency and with our label and our publisher, and we said, okay, if we want to make the most of this festival season, we need to have a release by the summer. So we sat down and we basically wrote the whole songs in under a year. So that was a very exhausting experience that I do not necessarily want to repeat, but I mean, it turned out well. So I did something very different with the lyrical approach. I invented kind of a story to each song because I'm telling the story of artificial intelligence becoming smarter than humanity and taking over predominance on this planet. So Revolution 5 is where it's starting, then Echo and ANDR Bias. Cut the Cord is a song about where it's actually happening, where the machines are becoming aware of themselves. And this is closing with Man-Made Machine Made Man. When the machines decide to make a human being, then we have a full circle. And what is really funny is WOTF, that's the Way of the Future Church. This is actually a church that believes that if you're nice to machines, then they won't kill you when they outsmart humanity. I mean, it's an American thing. It can only be American, right? No other country on this planet would come up with such a church. It's really funny.
Because you have got it at another studio, was this much easier for you, or did it take longer than it has to?
The LCHQ studio is simply a name for my home recording. Okay. I'm more or less always recording myself and do all the editing myself and then go into the studio only for mixing. And I do that because I like to take my time when recording. And usually the vocalist is the last person to record and everyone else is already partying and done. And so it gives me the freedom to start very early in the process. As soon as the first two tracks are done, I start recording simultaneously to the others.
So it was much easier, I assume.
Yeah, for me, that's just, I wouldn't say easier because self-recording is hard because you have to pick what you want to do and there is no one who tells you, oh, that's great, or you can do better. You always have to talk to yourself and say, okay, I can do better. Okay, that was all right. So I wouldn't say it's easier, but for me, it's just the better workflow.
I still have the question, why didn't you want to do it at Sound Lodge Studio as the others?
Yeah, just like I said, I would have been the last one in the process to record. And so everyone else would have been finished already. And it kind of feels weird to be the last one. And also it gives me way more time than I would have had in a studio because, I like to record one song in one day and not more. Don't ask me why. It's just the way I do it. So that's 11 days of vocal recording. You don't really want to pay for that.
Okay. The band's second effort with your comrades, METALVILE Records, is there a new deal done doing this second album, or was it part of a deal already done together with the first album? And will there be a third album? And are you satisfied so far working with them?
Second record was part of the same deal. It was the first option that we had, and we took it. And I have no idea what will happen on a third release. Will it even be an album? Will it be an EP? Will it be song by song? Will we only use streaming? Will we ever produce a record again? I have no idea.
But with METALVILE, you don't have any album still pending?
Yes, one. This is on, as far as I understand the contract, this is a mutual agreement. I mean, they have an option. If they don't want to do the album because they don't like it, they don't have to. And as far as I know, we have to offer them the album or the next release, and then we'll see. But we haven't any thought really into it, what we want to do.
Some guest musicians appeared on this album, like Jörg of Soundcloud Studio, drummer for death metal bands Temple of Dread and Slaughter Day, and Frederick Leclerc, who was Dragon Force, and the new creator bass player also invited to the feast was benighted vocalist Mr. Julien Truchon. Tell us who idea was, when did it happen to invite these great musicians to collaborate on this album?
I think that all just happened by accident. I would say we had encounters with those people, and situations came that I don't know about the collaboration with Julien. How was that story?
All happened on the Sensanum tour. We went on tour with Sensanum and Hatesphere, and I think it was in Saint-Etienne, right?
Yeah, in Saint-Etienne, and he was there because he was friends with the guys in Sensanum, and he enjoyed our show. We met him backstage, and it was kind of a friendship that grew out of it. We met them a couple of times after the tour when they played, and
I mean, Julien is a hell of a vocalist, and I just really wanted to sing a duet with him.
I'm happy that we are good friends. I always really enjoying Benighted each time we see the band play live. But how about Frederick? I mean, this is a coincidence that now he switched from Dragon Force to Creator, already collaborating on this album.
He's also playing in Sensanum, and we were on tour with them.
Okay.
So that's how that happened. And he is such a nice and funny guy. On the first night we met, all of a sudden he started speaking German, and we were looking at him like, what? Because apparently he had lived in Krefeld, which is a German city, for a while.
The band has also released 2 official videos for the track Cut the Cord and Generation 4. Both premiered last June on before the album was released, and one the same day. Tell us the concept behind the video made for Cut the Cord, and where was the video for the song Generation 4 taken?
Yeah, Cut the Cord. That was the concept for the video was collaboration between you, Britta, as far as I remember, and I don't know, Britta.
I'm the girl behind the concepts of both videos. I really enjoy doing the storyboarding and stuff like that. So Cut the Cord. You remember Jonathan from Cripper, right?
Sure.
He was one of the guitarists, and he and his friend Steffen, they own a video production company, and we did both of the videos with them. And the story behind Cut the Cord is, well, the machine is cutting its own cord. It's just really literal, but we didn't want to show machines and cords in the video, so we wanted to kind of make it relatable for a human being. So we chose an actor to play Machine, just the character of Machine. And as the video turns out, the machine is kind of doing a very simple and repetitive form of work, and then all of a sudden realizing that it doesn't want to do it anymore, and so it breaks free. It was intense filming in a very small basement. It was crazy. It was a lot of fun. And Generation Fork, we filmed that in our rehearsal room. We blacked all the windows from the outside with Molton textile, and then we set up some lighting, and then we filmed it in our rehearsal room.
I was wondering at what festival was this, or what show?
No, that wasn't. No. The only thing that we filmed on a festival that was really Echo, where everyone in the audience kind of had their smartphones in their hand and then sent the material to us, and then I edited the video for Echo. That was in Wacken.
Absolute
In celebration of the band's new album on June 21st, 2019, this year, yes, Man Made Machine, Made Man, the band did the release show together with their home crowds at Café Glocksy in Hanover, Germany. How was this celebration gone, and who else supported that night on stage?
First off, the venue is a pretty small venue, actually. I think I don't know how many people fit in there, maybe 70 or 80.
No, way more.
More? All right.
Yeah, about 300.
300, all right, okay.
Yeah.
So that was a good guess then.
Benny is right. When 80 people are attending, you have the feeling that it's packed. But yeah. I think it's almost 300 who fit in now.
I understand he's in the back blasting the drum kit so he don't see the peoples.
I don't count the numbers.
Yeah,
and they're running in circles. Yeah.
How was this night? How did it went?
Yeah, it was great. We had other bands playing. It was Ayahuasca, which is a pretty awesome band. They're actually not from just one city, I think. It's like a collaboration of cities all over Europe, like people playing in that band. And what was the other band?
Krillisic,
yes.
Yeah.
From Berlin.
You guys enjoying it? That night you played the new album only?
No. I think we played 6 songs of the new album and something like 8 from the other album. Well, yeah.
That was a long set list.
Yeah, but the songs are all short and fast.
The band had a show with my friends of N-Seeker who released their new album, The Harvest, last September 13th. I had this great chance to interview them 2 years ago when we talked to Lenny, the vocalist. How was this night, November night, gone in Hamburg? Was it the N-Seeker release party show?
We didn't play at their release party. We played in Göttingen with them at just a single show.
It was in another city then?
Yeah, in Göttingen. Mm-hmm.
Okay, how was it gone?
It was awesome. I mean, it was the last show for us for this year. Everything was, I don't know, it felt great on stage. It was just a very intense and great show, and people loved it. How was it for you, Benny? I really had a really great show that night.
Yeah, it was fun. Actually, in the first place, I had some technical problems on the drum kit. I was a little afraid the show could become not as good as I'd like to, but in the end, it was a great show. It was a lot of fun. I didn't count the people again, but it was enough people to get the impression that it was a good show.
I must say, I have listened to N-Seeker new album, and it's incredible. It's very great. I remember I did the interview with Lemmy that was for their debut album in 2017, Flash Hammer Prophecy. A very great album as well, but this one is on a much higher level, The Harvest. And I must laugh because while I was interviewing Lemmy, we were laughing all the time because he's funny as well.
Yeah,
they are all fine people. Yeah, I'm really happy for them that Metal Blade signed them. That's good. The label and the band fit together very well.
Yeah, I think so too.
The band has different merchandise available. Share with us what all do the band have available for the die-hard fans to buy, and in how many formats will the fans be able to get the new album?
Well, we have it digitally. We have it on vinyl, and we have it in a digipack, like a CD. So these are your 3 options for Man Made Machine Made Man. And we have, I think, 3 or 4 different styles of t-shirts available, lanyards, patches, you name it. You can go to shop.criticalmass.de. We ship worldwide, so don't be shy.
Dedicated to ambition, death metal warriors from Hanover, Germany, Critical Mass only have one goal in mind: conquering the stages across the globe and bringing extreme music to every corner of the planet. Expect to be blown away by crushing riffs, insane vocals, fierce harmonies, and drop chops that will put any usual slaughterhouse escape to shame. We are approaching the end of 2019 and welcoming 2020. What will the band be doing for the rest of 2019, and what are the plans for 2020 in support of this great new album, Man Made Machine Made Man?
Right now we're already in the songwriting process for whatever's coming next, and first ideas are on the table.
It will stay brutal, that I can say.
Yeah. You don't want to say anything about festivals for the summer?
Well, we can't because, we're a small band, and small band get onto the roster the last. We are playing Metal Franconia in, I think, April or something like that, but that's all we know. So we don't know anything about big festivals yet, but we hope that we can play some of them.
Yeah, hope to see you guys, not only at Wacken, but perhaps Brutal Assault.
Oh,
yes.
That's such a great festival. I really want to go there again. Oh, it's I think, one of my 2 or 3 favorite festivals ever. It's the Brutal Assault Festival.
Sure, a festival I always enjoyed.
Yeah.
Okay, Britta and Benny, I want to thank you very much once again to have made this interview possible. And I want to hand you over the microphone of Metal Messiah Radio for you to invite all your friends and fans to support the band debut album, Human Praey. If you don't have it yet, guys out there, girls out there, go buy it. And to support the band's second new full-length album, Man Made Machine Made Man, and plus all merchandises that's available from the band. Yes, Britta and Benny, the microphone of Metal Messiah Radio is all yours.
Hey, everyone out there, if you're looking for some serious brutal death metal, then Critical Mass is your band. Check us out. And you might also want to watch our social media closely for the upcoming next days, because we have something very special planned and currently working on something nice for you guys.
It's going to be awesome. Check it out.
Okay, once again, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, Rita and Benny. Thank you once again for giving us this great opportunity to interview you. And as you know, we always keep on supporting Critical Mass and continue looking for what you guys are busy with.
Thank you so much for having us again, and thank you for the opportunity, and thanks for always being there for us.
You're very welcome. As I always say, metal on. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Metal on. Bye.